today we are on our last day actually of term term 3 revision. So today we'll be revising geometry. Now, you guys know we've done a lot of geometry in this term. We did our geometry 2D shapes, which was the most recent, and we covered our straight line geometry. So I'll do like a super quick recap. There goes my door. If you hear my door, I'm sorry. I can't help it. Like, it is what it is. Okay, so let's get started. I didn't do the intro because I know all of you guys here and I know you know the rules. Um, Beyond that, we're starting with some geometry. Now, I think before we even get into it, let's do a recap of what we've covered so far. So I know so far, let me see if I can make some space for myself. I know so far we have covered straight line geometry. So we have straight line geometry and we have 2D geometry. Now, when we covered straight line geometry, some of the things you would have learned is you would have learned about angles around a point. Can somebody tell me what was the rule about angles around a point? What did we learn about that? Yes, Itandile?
Good afternoon, everyone. Angles around a point add up to 360 degrees.
Right. So we learned that angles around a point equal 360 degrees. Itandile, while you're here, have another straight line geometry rule you can remember that we learned about?
Not really, ma'am.
Okay, not really. I figured we would all be a little bit hazy. That's why I said, let me do this recap first. Emihle, do you have a rule you remember from straight line geometry?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Um, I think angles with angles on a straight line, ma'am.
Okay, what about angles on a straight line?
They equal to 180 degrees, ma'am.
Beautiful. So when we have angles on a straight line, when you add up those angles, they equal to 180 degrees. Now, something I just want to clear up super quickly is I know a lot of us have this misconception, right? So let's say we have this diagram over here, and let me extend these lines. Okay, let's say we have this diagram over here. So let's try another color. So if I have this angle, and this angle, these are what we talk about when we angles on a straight line. I know that these angles over here on this side are still on the same straight line, but because they are formed at a different point, we don't include them in one calculation. It's two different calculations. So actually, here it's more so angles on a straight line around the same point add up to 180 degrees, because I know all of these angles that I have here are angles on one straight line. But because those angles are not formed around the same point on that line, it's going to be two different calculations. So over here, these three angles here are going to equal to 180 degrees. And these angles over here are going to equal to 180 degrees when we add those up. Are we all with me on that? Please use some reaction so I can see that we're all understanding. Uma has lots of thumbs ups. I see Liacho in there as well. Let's not spam Uma so I can see everybody's thumbs up. Okay, cool. If you guys have questions, you can always ask. Uma, do you have a line? Not a line. Do you have a rule that you remember?
Ma'am, I got a lot actually.
Okay, let's hear. Give me two.
But vertically opposite angles,
Beautiful. What about them?
and then you can do fun. So I named three more for the fun method.
Okay, but what about vertically opposite angles?
They equal the same.
Vertically opposite angles are equal. Now, in case you guys need a recap, this would be vertically opposite angles. And then Uma has said fun angles. So Uma, just take one of those and tell me the full name of it and explain to me what it means.
Um, I'm gonna do the easiest one. Alternate angles. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Opposite. No, wait, not alternate angles. Let me go co-interior.
Okay.
Co-interior angles.
Yes.
The interior of the angle is equals to 180.
My co-interior angles equals to 180 degrees. Beautiful. And what's something super specific about co-interior angles? What do I have to know about co-interior angles?
They're in a U shape.
Right. And in that U, there's something specific. And I know you know it. I just don't know how to phrase it
So
so
yeah,
that you give me
yeah,
that
you
answer.
have to name the parallel lines in the
Yes.
thing. So the
So
lines have to.
co-interior angles works with parallel lines. Okay, so that was beautiful. And Uma has told us it is in a U shape. So these are my parallel lines. And what happens is we have a line crossing that and it creates this U. Okay, if you can't see it, ooh, that highlight is a little bit thick, but it's okay. And these are the angles inside my U. Those are my co-interior angles. So when you add up those angles, you are going to get 180 degrees. Um, what else did I not draw? By the way, angles around a point would look like this. So all of these angles around this one point would equal to 360 degrees. Okay, so Uma's told me co-interior angles. The other thing that I know is alternate angles. Sorry, Bree, you have your hand up. Yes.
Ma'am, I wanted to
Oh,
say
okay.
corresponding angles are equal.
Okay.
Is it
So we
corresponding?
also let me. So if we have corresponding, oh, that is not how you spell corresponding. If we have corresponding angles, can you tell me, is my corresponding angles the F or the N?
It's the F.
It's the F, right? And so you are 100% correct that those lines are equal. I mean, not those lines, those angles. So here we go. Those are my angles in my F, and my corresponding angles are equal. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Ma'am? Oh my gosh.
Yes, what did you say?
Ma'am, you're lagging a little
You're
bit.
lost. Mm,
Ma'am, I think you're lagging, but I don't know if it's me.
okay.
Not the only one, Yako.
Mm,
Okay.
I heard you, Liaho. Thank you for that. I think I should be back. Uh, you guys can just let me know.
You are, ma'am.
Correct. Thank you. So I did see Bree left the meeting. I think maybe she thought it was her that was lagging. I think that was my fault. But anywho, so corresponding angles also only work when we have parallel lines. So in my F, these are my two lines that needs to be parallel. Bree, glad to see you're back. I answered the question for you. I was actually the one lagging. Apologies. And then we have the last one, which I think Uma wants to do. Yes, Uma.
We have sum of angles in a triangle and sum of angles in a square.
Okay,
Okay.
so
A
that is going to be
quadrilateral.
under 2D. Remember, when we talk about 2D geometry, we're talking about the shapes. So it's 2D
Oh,
shapes.
alternate angles, ma'am. Alternate angles, the opposite angles are equal. Like opposite
So
angles
what
on
letter is it?
it's a Z or N.
Beautiful. So we have these. Remember, again, only works with parallel lines. And then my angles over here are going to be the angles that I created like by the inside of the N. Almost like when I think of the N, I think of an elbow. So I think of the angle inside my elbow. So literally the angles in alternate angles that you're worried about is the angles that are like inside the N's elbows. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I used to figure it out. Um, okay. So I want to extend this line a little bit more. Then don't join, but whatever. That's it. And again, these only work with parallel lines. Now, what you guys should see is that we have F, U, and N. Those are the angles that work with parallel lines. So that is why we call them fun angles. Now, remember, whenever we use fun angles, we have to give a reason, which will be either alternate angles, corresponding angles, or co-interior angles. And we also have to put in which lines in the diagram are parallel. That is super, super, super duper important. Yes, Itandile.
Ma'am, do we have supplementary and uh, angles in straight line
So,
geometry?
so supplementary angles is angles on a straight line. What we don't have is complementary angles.
Thank you.
So I suppose we could add that in, but that's just that angles in a 90 or yeah, angles that add up to 90 degrees are called complementary angles. But that's not super important, so I'm not gonna include it in here. But it is a rule that we did learn. And angles on a straight line is the same thing as supplementary angles. Happy, Itandile?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And I
Can I
move
please
my
cough?
screen by mistake. Yes, you can. Okay, I can see you guys are like barely seeing me anymore, but hopefully I make it another round. Let's look at some 2D geometry now. I don't know if I'm gonna remember every single rule. Or let me not say that. What I am gonna say is we're not gonna be able to put in all the properties of all of our quads. I will be able to tell you all of the rules with triangles, but quads, remember, you have to remember every single property of quads. So those are something you will have to go and recap in the actual lesson that we did, because remember, we spent the whole lesson going over the properties of our quads. But some things for 2D geometry, and I can't remember now what it was that Umar told me. Umar, what was it that you said? Something about a triangle, angled in a triangle.
Ma'am,
Umar told
I said
me,
some of angles in a triangle
yes,
and some of angles in a quad.
is that me? Am I lagging again?
Ma'am, some of angles in a triangle and some of angles in a quadrilateral.
Okay, so what about them? What about the sum of angles in a triangle?
Sum of angles in a triangle, it equals to 180, and for different triangles, it's different. Like for an equilateral, all angles would be 60. For an
Mm-hmm.
isosceles, two sides would be equal and one won't. And for a scalene, all sides are not equal. Sum of angles in
Mm-hmm.
a quad, all angles equals to 360. And then there are
Okay,
different
beautiful.
properties for the lines
Mm-hmm.
in certain quads.
Thank you very much, Umar. Let's hear what Inishe has. Yes, Inishe.
Hello again, ma'am. I was gonna say the number of angles in a quad equal to 360, ma'am.
Okay. Do you remember any other triangle rules?
The exterior angle, ma'am, is equal to the two opposite equal angles.
So exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of two interior but opposite angles. With me there?
Yes, ma'am.
And let me move this up there. Okay, so that is that. That's beautiful. So in case you guys have forgotten, if we have a triangle, we have sometimes what is called an exterior angle. And I'm going to just zoom in so you guys can see that. So when we have an exterior angle of a triangle, it's going to be this angle outside my triangle. And what we're saying is that that exterior angle, which we will call x, is equals to the sum the sum of my interior but opposite angles. So I'm not going to use this angle there where I've put my one little yellow dot, because that is an adjacent angle, not an opposite angle. So these are my opposite angles. So we can say it's going to be, what can we label them? X, I suppose we could call them Y and Z. Okay, so my exterior angle of a triangle is equals to the sum of the two interior but opposite angles. Okay, so that's exterior angles of a triangle. Beautifully done. I think that was immediately. Yes, Uma, do you have another one?
Uh, Ma'am, this is my favorite one, Theorem of Pythagoras.
Okay, we also learned
Okay, we
about
all.
Pythagoras. What did we learn?
The two opposite sides of the hypotenuse squared is equals to the hypotenuse squared. Like the two opposite sides
Okay.
added.
Yeah, so I hear what you're saying. So we said hypotenuse squared is equal to side squared plus side squared. So that is beautiful. So that is Pythagoras. Something you guys should know about Pythagoras is it works only when, Uma, with what type of triangle?
Ma'am, it only works in a right angle triangle. It doesn't work in any other triangle.
Thank you. So it only works in a right angled triangle. So we have the sum of angles in a triangle, we have the exterior angle of the triangle. And the last two is we learned about sides. Oh, let me first do this. We learned about angles opposite equal sides. Okay. And what we said is that when we have an isosceles triangle, remember an isosceles triangle is a triangle where two sides are equal. Isosceles triangle, the angles that are opposite my equal sides are also equal. So I've just highlighted over there the two angles in this diagram that are going to be equal. And let me also. So remember what I said, it's almost like those equal side markings are pointing to the sides or to the angles that are also equal. Okay, so when you are proving that those angles are equal, you are going to use the reason angles opposite equal sides. We are basically saying those angles are equal because they are angles opposite equal sides. Sometimes what we have is we have the opposite of that, where they've given us an isosceles triangle, and I just want to try and do that again. So they've given us an isosceles triangle, and they've told me that these, or rather, they actually haven't told me it's an isosceles triangle, but they've told me that these two angles are equal to each other. What I know is because I know that when we have angles, or rather, when we have two sides that are equal, those angles that are opposite them are also equal. It works in reverse as well. If I have two angles that are equal here, it means that the two sides opposite those angles are equal as well. So over here, I've now proved, sorry, ignore the birds. Over here, I've now proved that my sides are equal. Remember up here, I proved that my angles were equal. I proved that my angles were equal because they gave us equal sides. Here, what I did was I proved that my sides are equal because they gave me equal angles. Now, when you prove that your sides are equal, the rule that we learned there is we learned about sides, opposite, equal angles. Now, these are the main ones that we've learned. This is the bulk of it. Are we all up to speed with this? Are there any questions up until here? Okay. So that way we basically recapped almost our whole term's work in half an hour. So now we're going to jump into some questions. So now let us look at this first thing over here. And again, if you guys have forgotten, the minute you are doing geometry, when you give a statement, you must have a reason. While there is a brain break, again, a short brain break, because I know geometry is not our friend, so we need all the time we can get. But we'll do the brain break in a few minutes. Let me check. Bree, what I don't know what you are saying. I think also at this point my camera is kind of pointless, so I might switch it off in a few minutes. But anybody have any idea how we are going to do this question? I know it's a little bit of a tricky one. I think maybe I can zoom in a little bit. I know this, it looks super blurry because I've had to zoom in so much on my tablet. Bree, there we go. You have a hand raised. Oh, right now.
So the statement is gonna be 90 degrees plus 40 plus 6x plus 2.
Hold on. Let me write properly. 90 degrees plus 40 plus 6x plus 2. Yes.
Plus, can I like add my own variables?
For here.
Yes, plus x.
Now, what I want to tell you immediately, Bree, is that you're going to have multiple variables in this equation. And remember, when you have multiple variables, you're not going to be able to solve for anything.
Okay.
So, try something else.
Oh no, Ram, you can continue.
You're on the right track, Brie. I don't want you to go away. I don't want you to give up. Literally, what you have I've written is correct. What do you see here?
Angle. Okay, a straight line.
A straight line, right? All of these angles make a
Yes.
semicircle. So, what rule are we going to use?
Oh, equals to 180.
Beautiful.
My reason for this is sum of angles on a straight line equals 180.
Yeah, you can put sum of angles. I'm just gonna have the angles on a straight line. What next?
I think we're gonna say 90 plus 40 plus 2 plus 6x equals to 180. And then
Bree, give me a second.
okay.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, Bree, I didn't hear the last.
Plus 6x equals 180. Where's my calculator?
Okay, yes. What's our next step?
I kind of forgot. We're gonna say plus 6x equals 180. All right, we transpose. Okay. So
There
when you
you
say
go. We
6x,
transpose. So it's gonna
6x
be 6x.
equals to 180. Minus, wait, can I add everything up first?
Yes, you can.
Minus 132.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna say 6x equals to 48. And then we're gonna divide both sides by 6.
Beautiful. Why are we
because
dividing by 6?
because we want to isolate the variable and get it by itself.
Beautiful.
So 6x divided by 6 equals to x, and
Mm-hmm.
then 48 divided by 6 is 8.
Beautiful. And that is my answer. Not so bad, right, Bree?
Okay, man.
I heard it okay. I'm hoping you're agreeing with me that it's not so bad, but yeah, you did that
Yes, I
one.
am.
Okay, cool. Um, Uma, I don't know if you know this. When I say pick me, choose me, love me, do you know that like meme, the TikTok, the reel? Oh my gosh, you are that real. You are that person.
Or
But in the best
it's
way.
Shakespeare. Or Shakespeare, when they love someone, they say, "Pick me, choose me, love me."
Yes, the same one. Yes, from Grey's Anatomy,
Easy,
100%.
ma'am.
Uma is that in the best way. Um, but anyways, Uma, okay, I pick you. I did mark this diagram. It looks very untidy, but this diagram had no markings on it, and I knew it was going to be an issue. So I'm just gonna tell you what I did. I
Do you
have
want us
put
to
in
calculate x?
lines. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Yes.
okay, so first I want to calculate um E1. No, I want to calculate x, but now the only way I see to calculate x is like at first I saw alternate angles, but then I'm like no, because the alternate angle would be E3. So do I have to use
Yes.
angles on a straight line? No,
So alternate
can't.
angles would be there. So that was gonna calculate for us what E3 was.
Um, E E2 is equals to 4x plus 16,
Mm-hmm.
practically opposite angles.
Okay. So that's good. So you said angle E2 is equals to 4x plus 16 degrees. Why? Because of vertically opposite angles. So that's correct. So for anybody who's missing what Umar just did, he said there's an x over here. And in my x, I know this angle is going to be equal to this angle, which is why he said angle E2, E2 is this one over here, E2 is going to be equals to 4x plus 16. And let me write that in. So we have, sorry, we have over here 4x plus 16. What next?
Now we can say f3 is equals to 4x plus 16. Alternate angles AB parallel to CD.
F3 is equals to,
4x plus 16. No, wait, never mind.
okay, because yeah, look, if we have our
F4.
alternate angles.
F4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, F4 is equals to 4x plus 16. My bad.
Okay, so we're saying angle F4 is equals to 4x plus 16. Mm-hmm.
Alternate
Reason.
angles AB parallel to CD. Remember, the reason is alternate angles AB parallel to CD.
And AB is parallel to CD. Okay, so now we know that 4x plus 16 also goes in there. Now what?
Um, if 7x minus 20 is equals to 4x plus 16 vertically opposite angles.
Mm-hmm.
Vertically opposite angles. Now we
Vertically.
know
Okay, so
that.
Umar, just hold on for me. Okay, so what Umar has said now is he said, okay, he's worked his way up here. Now he said, here's another x. And what he knows is that this angle is going to be equal to this angle, which is why he said 7x minus 20 is equals to 4x plus 16, because those are vertically opposite angles. So we've now done that. We've put in our statement. We've put in a reason. Let's see, what are we doing now, Uma?
So now we have to transpose. So what I like to do is move the variables on the left hand side and move the numbers on the right hand side. So I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
transpose 4x to the right hand side. So it's gonna be 7x minus 4 is equals to 16 minus 20
Are you sure minus 20?
plus 20. Sorry, my bad.
Here you go. So that is going to be plus 20. Yes.
3x is equals to 36.
Beautiful.
Now you divide by 3 on each side.
Mm-hmm.
And x is equals to 12.
X is equals to 12. Are we done, Uma?
Yes.
Yes, we are. So this was very beautifully done.
No,
What I
look,
want to...
you need to put the degrees, man. Put the degrees, man.
Okay, there we go. What I want to show you, Uma, is actually you could have done this with one less step. When you told me that this angle over here, when you told me that angle E2 was 4x plus 16, what you also could have said is you could have said, well, this is now an F. It's an upside down F, but an F nonetheless. And what you could have then said is immediately there, angle E2 is equal to angle F2. Why? Because of corresponding angles. And then you could have told me that they are equal. So that was that. The other thing you could have also done is, remember you were telling me alternate angles. Oh, and actually that wasn't gonna be correct, but let's just look at this. Remember we said alternate angles. If we had calculated this angle over here, we could have calculated what x was by doing then sum of angles on a straight line, because this is a straight line. So what I'm trying to show you guys is that there's multiple ways to solve one geometry problem. Some ways are longer, but it's okay to take a longer route if it still gets you to the answer. Okay, obviously we're trying to practice to get to our answer the quickest way possible. But sometimes we just can't see it. And what I want you guys to know is that you still can get to the answer even if you don't see the obvious signs. Umar worked around the problem, but he still got to the answer. So that was very well done, Umar. Um, are we all happy with this? Any questions on this solving that we just did? Anybody? Oh, and I see we have some people that have joined. Let me see who's with us. Oh my gosh. Itandile and Imihle, your hands are raised. Do you have a question or do you want to answer?
I want to answer, ma'am.
I want to answer, ma'am.
Okay. Itandile is forever sick.
Ma'am, this time it's because I ate too much candy, but then normally I am not sick. I'm very sorry that I'm sick.
No, that's okay. I
Um,
see Noctula has joined us. I think that's Tando. Hi, Tando. Hi, Nkuli. Hi, Ramsey. I think Ramsey was Nicolene. Who
hello,
else?
ma'am.
Hi. And Gloria. I think Gloria may have also given me another name, but I can't remember right now. Okay. Anyways, I think Itandile Imihle, you guys are gonna be the first to answer after our brain break. For now, I'm just gonna scroll down to the brain break first. We are finding the differences again. Super short brain break. But let's see what you guys find. I see hands. I don't know, Itandile, do you want to give me one difference? By the way, there are 7 differences. Maybe I should put that up.
Yes, ma'am.
What's one difference you see?
Ma'am, the lining on the other two on the window.
Oh, I see it. Okay, so Itandile has seen our window line thingy bobbies they are missing. I look like I just made our cat an angel, but it's okay. Thanks, Itandile, for that.
Pleasure, ma'am.
Imihle, do you see anything?
Yes, ma'am. The little heart on the bow, ma'am.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much. Who is next? Liacho, what do you see?
Ma'am, there's a pillow there by the couch, ma'am, but in the other picture there's no pillow.
Correct. So that's 3 we found so far. Thank you, Liacho.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, there's
Uma?
also a mouse down there. Okay, sorry, ma'am, let me not talk.
Yeah, thanks, Liacho. Uma, what do you see?
Yeah, there's a hole in one yarn, but there's not a hole in the other.
Where is that? Oh, you're so right. You see, the thing about this highlighter is it shows up when I like draw it, but when I let go, then it like disappears, which is kind of annoying. Let's see if this maybe helps. Okay, thank you, Uma, for that. Who is next? Unati.
Ma'am, on one of the kitten's paws, you'll see like one toe is missing, like
Uh,
on the bottom paw.
oh, I see it. I do see it. Oh, and this is, let me get my highlighter out. There we go. How many did we find so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we have 5 differences. Thank you, Unati. Let's see. Who didn't go? Bree, I don't think you win.
Ma'am, like the paw underneath the paw, I don't know which paw it is, but like I think it's the left one. Like the first picture has this little pink thingy underneath it,
I know
and then
exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, that one.
There we go. Okay, so let me number. Let's number this because so this was 1. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we found 6 differences.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am, I see one there. Ma'am, can you see there by that I don't know what you call that cat thing, the one that they play with, but down there I think there's a mouse there. I can't really see it on my screen actually. There's like 2 mouses there.
I know, yes.
Yes,
I
ma'am, you
know
see it
what
right?
you're talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
This little mouse over here is missing. So that is 7, but actually I see another difference. I don't know if I'm crazy, but let me look carefully. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Look, on this side, do you guys see this cat has 4 whiskers? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh yeah.
right? On this side, there's only 3 whiskers.
Oh yeah. Then that means 8
So,
differences.
yeah, so that's 8. And I think that's it. Did anybody see anything else? Are we done? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, that was our brain break, guys. I just thought this cat was super cute, so I wanted to include it in our lesson. I hope you guys are feeling rested and ready to get back to geometry. I know it's a little bit tedious, but it's okay. Very cutesy. Okay, I have another diagram up on the board. Itandile, are you still okay to try this one? Very mindful.
Ma'am, you know what? I do want to try it, but
Okay,
ma'am, I don't want to try this one.
okay. Well, Emilia wanted to do this one, so maybe you can do the next one.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Emilia,
So, ma'am, we're gonna say um x
mm-hmm,
plus y plus 63 degrees
mm-hmm,
plus 112 degrees is
mm-hmm,
equal to 360 degrees, and my
mm-hmm.
reason is sum of angles in a quad, ma'am, equals to
Okay.
360.
Now I'm gonna let you carry on, but you'll see what's gonna happen. So let's go. What are we gonna do now?
So we're gonna say we're gonna transpose, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna say oh wait, I think I see where the problem is, ma'am. We have two unknowns.
Right. We have two variables over here. So when we transpose, we're gonna have x plus y is equals to something. But that's not gonna help me, right? Because now how do I know what's x and how do I know what's y? So
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
glad that you spotted that. And why I wanted you to carry on anyways is because this is what happens in tests, right? We put in something, it doesn't work out. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. All you do is align through it and we carry on. What else do you see?
Parallel lines, ma'am.
Right. Now, are there any specific letters you are seeing? Remember, whenever we have parallel lines, we can look for an F, we can look for a U, or we can look for an N. Are you seeing any of those?
I think I can see an N, ma'am. I mean, oh, U.
Okay. Tell me which one you want to
Yes, ma'am.
use.
The
I'm going to help you out and tell you that there is no N.
U, ma'am.
Right. So I see this U. What are we doing now?
So we're gonna say
Yes. Do you want me to go back? Yes, super quickly.
yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So my U is co-interior angles and they are equal to 180 degrees.
So we're gonna say x plus 63 is equal to 180 degrees, and then
Beautiful.
the reason is co-interior angles.
180 degrees. My reason is co-interior angles. Thank you.
Then we're gonna say x is equal to 180 degrees minus 63 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
and that is equal to um, 117 degrees, ma'am.
Beautiful. Are we done?
No, ma'am, we still have to figure out y.
Okay, but are we done with figuring out x?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if this was out of 3 marks, you would have only gotten 2. I want you to think if you can figure out what's missing.
Yes, ma'am.
Take like 5 seconds. Anything ringing a bell?
Parallel lines.
Parallel lines. So what am I going to put in with my reason?
AB
Hmm.
parallel to DC. Yes.
To DC. Beautiful. Now let's figure out y. What are we gonna do for y?
We're gonna say um y
Mm-hmm.
plus 112 degrees
Mm-hmm.
is equal to 180 degrees, ma'am. Wait.
180
Yes.
degrees. You're correct.
And then our reason is going to be co- cointerior angles, ma'am.
Beautiful.
Then we're gonna say y is equal to 180 degrees minus 112 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
which is then going to equal 68 degrees. And then
Beautiful.
we're gonna
Nicely
say
done.
AD is equal to AD parallel to BC.
Thank you very much. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. I'm lying. I'm lying. Look at what you said. You said that AD is parallel to BC. Do those
Oh
lines that
wait,
I've
sorry,
just
ma'am.
hmm
AB is parallel to DC.
there you go. AB is parallel to DC. Thank you. And now we are done. Full mark. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's see. Tandile, you're still with us. Uh, don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed.
Oh my,
Don't.
what did I put myself into?
You'll be fine. First things first, we always want to highlight our parallel lines. They're always going to help us a lot. So that's highlighted. Anything that you see that you can tell me.
I see Z or an N, and then
Okay, so
from
you're
there,
seeing this. So you're seeing that.
yes, ma'am.
Mhm. So that tells me A is equals to C. But right now I don't have any values for those. So it's not going to help me too much. Anything else that you're seeing?
A straight line,
Right. What do I do with that?
ma'am. I say 154
Mm-hmm.
plus C is equals to 180 degrees. Sum of angles. Sum of straight line, ma'am.
Sum of angles on a
A
straight
straight
line.
line.
Mm-hmm.
Then, ma'am, we are gonna say C is equal to 180 transpose 154, and then C is gonna be equals to 26.
Beautiful. Now, what can we do?
Ma'am, we can say A is equals to C,
Mm-hmm.
which
Which I know is
is
26. So I'm just gonna put it in there that A is equals to 26. Yes.
26. Alternate angles are equals. Line TC is equals to PR.
Okay, so TS is parallel
TS
to
to PR.
PR. Beautiful. So now you figured out two. There's D and there's B that's missing.
Okay. So, ma'am, we have a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
We have a straight line where we can say 48 plus 26 plus D is equals to 180 degrees. Angles on a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
So, ma'am, 20 C D is equals to 48 plus 26, which is 74, equals to 180 degrees.
So
Then we turn.
74 plus B.
Then, ma'am, we say D is equal to 180 minus 74, which is 106.
Beautiful. 106. So that's D. So now we know D is 106. How are we going to calculate B?
Sum of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees, which 26 plus 106 is equal to 180 degrees. Plus B is
Plus
equal to
106.
180. Reason sum of a triangle.
Sum of angles in a triangle. Beautiful.
106 plus 26 is equals to 132. So we transpose 132, and 108 minus 132 is equals to 48.
B is equals to 48. Beautiful. Itandile, I want to show you something else you could have done. Remember we had these parallel lines, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And this over here is an F. Okay. So do you
Yes, ma'am.
see immediately we could have said B is equals to 48 because
Yes,
of
ma'am.
corresponding angles.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
seeing that? What you did, 100% correct. This would have been a faster way, but it only took you about 2 extra lines of calculation and you still got the answer. So you did beautifully. Thank you very much for answering.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Pleasure. I don't know what I'm saying pleasure for, but you said thank you, so that was just my response. Uma, I'm sure you want to answer, and I think I will let you, but for anybody who is like, you know what, ma'am, I'm done with maths for the day. I'm gonna give you guys your quiz link, except oh, I'm on my tablet, so I can't copy and paste this. Oh wait, let me try. Wait, copy. I forgot how to do this. Is that the correct thing? Okay, sorry, I know you're seeing my loop now, but it is what it is. There we go. If you guys are done with geometry, then that's that. Uma, if you wanna stay and answer a question, you for sure can. Yes, Liacho, the quiz is gonna be on geometry and equations. If anybody has a question, you may answer it as well. I mean, you may ask it as well. But yeah, that's class for today, guys. Thank you very much for joining during your holidays and being good sports. Uma, do you want to answer or are you calling it a day as well?
Ma'am, I'm gonna answer, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want to pick which one you want to do or must I do it?
I'll do the whole thing, ma'am.
Okay. I meant as in because I have others at the bottom.
Uh, so anyways, ma'am, you can give me the hardest one, ma'am.
Okay. Well, usually the last one is the hardest one. So there you go.
Ma'am, this is easy, ma'am.
Okay.
Um,
Let's see.
so one
Good
that
night, ma'am. I'm
Nice,
tired.
Itandile.
Goodbye,
uh,
ma'am.
so as we can see is an exterior angle, and we know that an exterior angle is one that one the opposite things added to each other is equals to the exterior angle. But
So
now
you're
we can't,
saying,
we can't get that right now. So we'll
mm-hmm,
have to wait.
mm-hmm.
But what I can get is the angle WQT.
WQT. Okay. You don't need it. So I know that you can.
Oh wait, I
It's
mean
not really, well, I suppose it could help you.
No wait. WQ said that inside angle in the triangle.
WQZ. WQZ is a straight line. So you're talking about this one.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, let's do that.
I'm gonna do the longest way to calculate it.
I can see. That's okay. Go ahead.
Um, so I'm gonna say 130 plus WQU, whatever the angle is.
So we're gonna start from here. We're gonna say UQP. Okay?
Yeah,
UQP. Yep.
is equals to 180 sum of angles on straight line.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're gonna transpose, so UQP is equals to 180 minus 130,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna get 50.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So I know this is 50 now. Is that gonna help me? Do you know what to do now?
Yes, we
Mm-hmm.
can calculate the angle, the opposite z, like the upwards angle where P is.
This one.
Next to it, ma'am.
Next to it.
Oh no,
Which
never mind. X, no, but then I can't calculate that without that angle where P is.
I helped you out, Uma.
Yeah, but you can't calculate it because like you need X, like a variable over there. So
Right. Okay, but look, we have X over here.
oh yeah, so the angle over there is equals to X.
Okay, tell me, I
Um,
want you to name this angle. I want you
UPQ,
to practice naming the angle. What is
UPQ,
this angle called?
UPQ.
Beautiful. UPQ is equals to XY.
Vertically opposite angles.
Vertically opposite angles, and then
Now we can go sum of angles in a triangle.
mm-hmm. Okay.
So x plus 20 plus x plus 50 is equals to 180 sum of angles in a triangle.
Sum of angles in a triangle. Beautiful.
Uh, 20 plus 50 is 70. 2x plus 70 is equals to 180.
Mm-hmm.
Now you transpose 2x is equals to 110.
Okay, yes. So let me. Yes.
I already did the subtracting, so I just skip that step.
Yeah, no. It's okay. I
Uh,
needed the space anyways.
55.
Beautiful. Now, Uma, just stay here for another like 2 seconds. I want to show you what you could have done. What you could have done is from the very beginning, you could have said that UPQ is equals to X, and then you could have done exterior angle of a triangle. You could have said 130 is equals to X plus 20 plus X because of exterior angles of a triangle. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You took the long way, but that's okay. You got to the answer.
Ma'am, it
Thank
doesn't
you.
matter how long you take it. What really matters is how quickly you get the answer. I mean, not how
Correct,
quickly you get
correct.
the answer. It's
Mhm. It's that you get
how
there.
you get the answer. Yeah.
Yes, correct.